The economy is in recession and jobs are competitive as ever. Many communities are coming up with innovative ways of promoting their local economies. Stacey Heggen leads a group dedicated to promoting the professional interests of young adults. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, what is your role with the group?
The position that I accepted was the Executive Director for the Greater Grand Forks Young Professionals. And it's a brand new position, and it's fully supported through grants and tremendous support from the community, different businesses in the city. And so I'm coming into a brand new clean slate and getting to work with the amazing program that they already have going and kind of tweak things and go from there. So.
Well, why was your position created? You said that it's a brand new position and there's this organization happening before. Why did they need your position to be created?
Well, they had, the Knight Foundation provided a grant for them to come in and do research on what our community needed, and they had this initiative called the Launch Grand Forks Initiative. The #1 recommendation was to bring in an executive director for the Greater Grand Forks Young Professionals. And so from there, the community rallied, and they had gotten grants and tremendous financial support, and they were able to bring me on board as the executive director.
And now this wasn't your first professional role. You had a job before this, but you're a fairly recent graduate. Was it 2009?
Yes.
That you graduated from college? Do you remember that transition point? I mean, what was that like? Well, how scary was it?
Well, when I graduated college, I really didn't want to be an adult quite yet, and I knew I had a little bit of a window between when student loans kicked in and all the major bills kicked in, and being able to just kind of have fun for a little bit longer. So I gave myself a couple months right out of college to just kind of job shop, I guess, and see what was out there and continue working. I was a server at a restaurant here in town, and so I just stuck with that, had fun, and just kind of job shopped. And my job that I had first gotten with the Extension Service really fell into place fast, and I actually had to negotiate an extra month and a half of summer with them, because I said, if I can't have that extra month and a half, I don't know if I'm ready.
Well, and you know, that transition part, a lot of young professionals are going through that with your organization. How does your organization help prepare individuals for that?
Well, from a student's perspective, the Greater Grand Forks Young Professionals is a great opportunity for them, because they can come in, and we have lined up internships with different employers, or if employers have an idea for an internship, we can take their idea and bring it to campus, and we have worked with different entities that help train businesses to make an internship truly effective for the student and for them, so it's a productive relationship. So we can bring that into them. It's also a great thing to put on your resume, because it gives you quality experience in the community and quality experience in a workplace that you might not otherwise get. You also have very valuable networking opportunities with people who are always looking for employers.
And you mentioned the word community quite a few times. You know, what are the goals of your organization in the community?
Well, our mission is that we enhance our community, we connect with each other, and we create connections and we invest with each other. And we want people to really take value in living in Grand Forks. We know it's a great place to stay. We know it's safe. We know it's fun, and we know it's a livable place, and it's a place you want to stay. And so we want to help other young professionals also realize that, and we do that through helping them get involved in different boards or volunteer organizations or whatever else it may be.
And the specific program that you mentioned earlier, the Launch Grand Forks, what role do you have with that program?
With Launch Grand Forks, they developed a bunch of initiatives that they thought would be beneficial for our organization to continue to carry out. And so my role is to really look at what those initiatives were and those recommendations were, and make sure that they're being carried out.
Mm-hmm. Now, how does this benefit the members being involved? What are some of the great benefits? You mentioned, you know, it's good to have a resume, you get some experience. What are some other things?
It's a great opportunity to grow professionally and personally. Like I said, if you are new to Grand Forks, you've never lived here, or like me, I've been away for a few years and then I moved back. You come into Grand Forks, and a city this big, you're you don't know where to start. As simple as, say you need to buy a car, or where do you rent an apartment from, or something like that. So the young professionals, at the base of things, we create those the beginnings of relationships with each other that we can kind of tell you, this is a good park to go to, or this is where I like to eat out. So just the simple things like that.
Like sharing, because they haven't been in the community for a long time.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Well, the people who have been in the community for a long time, the older generations in the workplace, you're also mixing, young professionals, obviously when they get in the workforce, get mixed up with those older generations. What kind of things do you do to help with that?
Well, we are actually working on establishing the opportunity for young professionals to be mentored by, we call them established professionals, or EPs. So we're working on setting up those connections so that the young professionals, if they have questions or they want to learn more about how an established professional got to the place that they are, they're able to do that.
Okay. What's the criteria for getting in?
Well, we basically, you need to be vested and have value in Grand Forks. You need to be 20 to 40 something, but we don't card at the door.
Okay, so you wouldn't stop somebody and say,
nope,
wait a second.
I actually, one of our members was in the crowd during the Potato Bowl parade, and I was running around handing out cards, and he was standing next to his wife, and I was just kind of giving out cards to the people I thought might be, 20 to 40 something, and I guess I walked right past him and I didn't even realize it, and he's like, thanks a lot. Talk about profiling. But we don't. Anybody who is invested in Grand Forks and they want to continue to see Grand Forks grow and thrive can be a part of this group. Right. And then just to pay your dues.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a great organization. I'm sure there's other ones in other cities as well. Thanks for coming on the show and explaining about the one here.
Thank you for having me.
All right.